Hello, everyone. Dr. Vicky here, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center. It's time for Taroscopes. We're going to be doing Taroscopes for the sign of Virgo. That's Virgo Sun, Virgo Moon, Virgo Rising for the month of June 2025. Yep, we're at June already. All right, so we're going to get started on this. But before I do that, I just want to welcome my new subscribers. Welcome to this wonderful community of like-minded souls. I think you're going to have fun here. To my tried and true who have been with me for years, you know how much I appreciate you. It's been quite a journey, and I imagine it will continue to be quite a journey. And I am so grateful that you are taking this journey with me. To my new members on my YouTube channel, thank you so much for your support. It's very helpful for me. The more that the more support I get, the more I can give. So we have a couple of more deplorables to put in the basket, and we will also have some more people that we really like to take a look at in the interview in the in on the in no, in the oncoming weeks. Okay, to get my prepositions correct. The nuns would be appalled. All right. And then to my Patreon, thank you so much for your continued support. It means the world to me. It really does. So let us take a look at the astrology. All right. So now this is specific for Virgo, and it does apply to Virgo Sun, Virgo Moon, Virgo Rising. It might apply to Virgo rising the most, but it will apply to you as well, even if you're not a Virgo rising. What we have here is the chart for the month. This is where all the planets are sort of sitting and moving around. Notice that the majority of planets are at the top of the chart. That means that most of what you're experiencing and what you're doing will be seen. It's in the outer world. In fact, you might find yourself spending a lot of time in the outer world. This being the outer world, the top of the chart, this being the inner world. Of course, you do have some inner stuff going on. Of course, we have both inner and outer. Now, Virgo is a sign that's ruled by Mercury, and we have Mercury moving pretty quickly this month. It starts the month in Gemini, and by the 6th, I think. Let's see. Nope, that's not Gemini. I mean, that's not Mercury. Nope, that's not it either. By the 8th, Mercury moves into Cancer. Um, and then on the 26th, it moves into Leo. So it moves through these signs pretty quickly. We are going to have a Mercury retrograde next month in July, and it's all going to be in Leo. So it's all going to be happening in that 12th house. But this month, we have a variety of information coming in. The first couple of days, we have Mercury in Gemini, of another sign that's ruled by Gemini. It's moving forward. Mercury in Gemini is potent because it's in a sign of rulership, and it's moving forward, which is always happy for Mercury. Mercury, although Mercury does spend a lot of time retrograde, it would prefer to be direct, I think. So this is a lot of information gathering, especially in your career, perhaps, or in the outer world. If you're looking for information, the information will be found in the outer world as opposed to the inner world. The inner world stuff is more towards the end of the month, and then next month it's going to be pretty much all inner. Well, not all of it, but quite a bit of it is going to be inner work, getting the answers from within. Once a Mercury moves into Cancer, it moves into a much more emotional sign, which you're not particularly, you're not the most emotional or at least overtly expressive emotional sign, but it is water and you are earth, so there is a blending of energies, and you certainly get the information that you need. This could be a time when you're with old friends, friends that you grew up with, perhaps, um, friends that make you feel secure, nurtured. You may get a lot of nurturing from your friends at this point. Excuse me, the pollen is just killing me. Well, not really killing me, but it's it's causing me to cough. That's what that is. I do not have any illness or anything like that. So In fact, I just took a walk around the yard, so I think I just dusted up all the pollen and now it's wreaking havoc on me. Just one second, I apologize. How very Virgo of me to talk about my allergies in the middle of a reading. Okay. No offense, Virgo. I have Virgo in my chart, so I always feel like if I have it prominent in my chart, that I can talk about it from experience and I don't really offend anybody, but we'll see. Maybe I do. All right. Um, so that's Mercury. And then Mercury goes into Leo, into that 12th house. It's going to spend a lot of time in 12th house actually all of next month. It's going to be in the 12th house. So a lot of information coming in through your sort of mystical side. Even though Virgo, you're not particularly mystical, generally, you like facts and figures and you like practicality, and sometimes that mystical stuff is a little too woo-woo for you. But I have to say that's probably not true of you, Virgo, watching me because you're watching me, right? Because you see that it's not just what's on the paper that counts, but there's also other ways of gathering information. And like a true Virgo, you will go to the ends of the earth for the information that you need. The sun starts the month in Gemini, up in that 10th house. So there's a lot of maybe public recognition this month for you, Virgo. And then it moves into the 11th house, still out in the public eye, but surrounded by friends, surrounded by groups, more group orientated. Jupiter starts the month in Gemini. It's actually been there for about a year, and Jupiter spends about a year in a sign. So it this month it does move into Cancer. It likes Cancer. It's exalted in Cancer. Jupiter is exalted in Cancer. And Jupiter's pretty friendly energy and it's in the house of friends. So I feel like there's an expansion. I think this feels to me, Virgo, that if you've been looking for your tribe, this feels like while Jupiter is in this 11th house, this is the year really, the 12-month period where you can gather your tribe together. We do have a full moon. The full moon is in Sagittarius and with the sun in Gemini, it is along the axis of this is the security axis. In the fourth house, we're dealing with emotional and familial security, emotional internal security, and where the sun and Jupiter and Mercury happens to be is external security. Like having a good career brings you security, right? You have something that you can depend upon to take care of you in the outer world, because here on planet Earth we have to earn it. We have to do stuff to earn it. Now that's not completely true. We don't have to earn love necessarily, but we certainly have to earn so that we can feed ourselves and feed our families. All right. Let's see. So the sun, I talked about that. Venus. Now Venus has had quite the journey. She is starting the month in Aries. She spent the whole last month in Aries, moving forward, conjoining with Neptune, and then moving forward, getting out of her shadow. She's really had a bit of a time with her retrograde in Aries and Pisces. A lot of Aries Pisces energy at the beginning of the year. Pisces is the end of something, Aries is the beginning of something. And so when she came back into Aries, joined up with Neptune newly in Aries, and then started moving through Aries, uh, she's really in her power of her uh, Aries morning star energy. We're in an Aries morning star period now, a Venus period, and Venus and Aries morning star is willing to fight for what is important to her, for her values, for her family, for her beliefs, for what she knows to be true, for what she knows to be just. She's not going to take crap from anybody. Plus, she's also moved past Chiron and Eris. She's made a conjunction to Eris, so she is moving forward and she is ready for battle. But now this month she moves into Taurus, and that happens on the 6th. She's actually the first planet to change signs. So just the first couple of days, she's a little bit more combative. When she moves into Taurus, she's in her element. Um, Taurus is a sign that she rules, so she feels comfortable in Taurus. She's very practical and pragmatic, and it's moving through the ninth house of truth. So truth is very practical and pragmatic, and that's actually true of you anyway. Truth is practical and pragmatic for the Virgo. So this is going to feel, things are going to feel a little more stable. Maybe you feel like truth is actually being seen or coming out, or things can be done around it. You still have Uranus there. Uranus is there. It's going to move into Gemini next month, at least for a while, for a couple of months, and then backs back into Taurus to finish up. But by next year, the beginning of next year, Uranus is going to move into Gemini, and it's going to be there for 7 years, and it's in your 10th house. So a lot of the work that you've been doing behind the scenes is going to be seen come 2026. The sun, did I talk about the sun? Yeah, I talked about the sun. I talked about Jupiter. I talked about Mercury. I talked about Venus, talked about the new moon, the full moon, the new moon. I think I might have talked about that. I'll say it anyway in case I didn't. New moon is planting seeds, right? In the 11th house. This could be a good time to um, plant the seeds to plan for a gathering of some sort. It is the 11th house is a house of technology. This might be a good time to institute some sort of new technology into your life. It's in Cancer, so it could be, say you have a home business or you work out of your home, or maybe you do videos out of your home. This is a time when maybe a new piece of technology will be helpful for you. Hopefully, you probably saved up for it because you're pretty good about that stuff. And Pluto is in your sixth house of health. Of course, you are a health conscious person. With Pluto there, it can actually transform your relationship to your health, or perhaps you're developing some sort of health associated product, or or there's another word. What's the word? A procedure, something like that, to bring us more into a more balanced, um, equitable situation. The sixth house is the house of military. It's the house of healthcare. It's the house of associated with pets, workers' rights. So you could be working with that, and you could be a proponent for improving all those areas. Now, I'll say that Pluto's in there for 18 years, so you have plenty of time. You don't have to do it all today. Don't worry about that, Virgo. Now, lastly, we'll talk about Mars, because Mars has been sitting around that 12th house. First of all, Mars doesn't like being in the 12th house. It was in the 12th house when it moved into Leo. It moved back into Cancer. It was in the 11th house. That wasn't very happy. Moved forward and now is finishing up its journey through your 12th house, which it's been for quite a while. When Mars is in the 12th house, you feel like maybe you're missing the mark. Uh, you take an action and it comes back at you, and it's not the right action. You pretty much find pretty quickly what works and what doesn't work in that respect. But it has been challenging and it has been difficult, and I will give you that. But now it's moving forward, and it's going to move into your sign on the, let's see, when does Mars move in? On the 17th. So we still have some work in that 12th house. That 12th house is a psychic house, so you could be taking actions on your psychic premonitions. You certainly spent enough time in that house to have some ideas on how to move forward. But then once it moves into your sign and goes over that ascendant, your first house, this is energy. This is energy. So there's a lot of energy. So you actually get a little bit more energy coming to you at the end of the month, the second half of the month, I should say. And I did want to say something about that. The South Node is also in that first house. And the South Node is what we need to let go of. And I think with Virgo, with the South Node in Virgo, and what we need to let go of is perfectionist tendencies, feeling like you can't put it out there until it's absolutely perfect. There is no such thing as perfect. It's almost like you just have to, if the moment comes up, you just have to put it out there. And then the North Node in the seventh house in Pisces. Pisces is an archetype of forgiveness, so perhaps there's some relationships that you need to find forgiveness around. Even if it's a relationship where you say, I should have known better, then perhaps you need to know that we're all learning. We're all in a learning curve. Nobody knows, really, quite frankly, nobody knows what's going on. Nobody knows what they're doing here. It's a very experiential um, planet Earth is a very experiential place, and we can't be good at everything, even though Virgo aspires to be good at many things and tends to be very good at things. It's okay that we're not perfect because not even God is perfect. So that's the astrology. Let me stop the share. Now we're going to be pulling some cards, and I did pull a deck here. I'm going to use the fountain deck for Virgo this month. And oops, because it falls out of the, it really wants to be used. It's falling out of the box. Okay. Oh, dear me. These cards are jumping all over the place. I'm going to blame it on the cards jumping all over the place as opposed to me having, what is that called? Slippery fingers? No, there's an expression. Slippery fingers? Greasy fingers? What is that expression? Oh my God. Slippery fingers. Well, if there's a Virgo out there, they know the expression. It'll come to me. It'll come to me. Okay. Just a couple more shuffles. I like to get the Virgo energy into this deck. Let's put the Virgo energy in the deck. What does this deck have to say to Virgo for the month of June? I usually shuffle until it feels good, until it feels like it's clean or clear. You know, some people do 7 this way, 7 that way, 6, 3, cut it this way, cut it that way. That's good too. Sometimes I get like that. It depends on my mood. Depends on how Virgo I want to get. I do like 7 shuffles though, I will say that. Okay. And maybe it's slippery fingers. I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't matter. You know when it'll come to me? When I'm laying down in bed tonight, just ready to go to sleep. I'll be like, oh, that's what I wanted to say. And then I'll just go to sleep because it doesn't matter to me. Ooh, we start with the Three of Wands. Yeah, in this deck, I love this deck, but it's a little light and it's hard, sometimes hard to see. But he has 3 wands that he's pulling together. He's bringing them together. So what I would say here you're bringing things together. Threes are always about manifestation. You know, three's a charm, ready, set, go, the Trinity. And the Three of Wands is about commodifying your light. It's about bringing everything together, bringing all the things together so that you can create something. The challenge is that you don't have all the information that you need. This is the High Priestess. There's something still being hidden from you. So as you bring everything together, you need to leave space for the unexpected, for the piece of information that is perhaps now being brought to you. So while you've been working and working and trying to bring things together, know that be okay with that, but know that not all the information is has been revealed. Underneath it all, we have the Six of Coins. This is about a fair distribution of resources. So you're very, these cards indicate that you've been very diligent and that you're trying to bring balance and a sense of fairness to a situation. Let's see what's in the past. Ooh, the Empress. So this is abundance. This is a feminine, powerful energy of abundance. It can be a mother energy. So this could be your mother or the goddess herself. You've been working with that energy, that creative force energy, that abundance energy. So you're coming from a good place. You're coming from a good place. In the sky, we have anxiety, the Nine of Swords. This is a tough card. Um, This is the outer world. The outer world is scared shitless. Now, Virgo's a bit of a worrier. Worrier. A worrier, yes, A, but a worrier always O, right? Um, so I would guard against anxiety. Like focus on your creative endeavor now, because that's where the energy is. That's what you're working on. All the stuff in the outside world, as horrible and terrible as it is, I think uh, anything that's going to raise your anxiety levels and make you non-functional is not going to work for you. So know a little bit, know what you have to know, but don't get inundated by the horror of it all. Let's see what's in the immediate future. We have the King of Swords. Now, the King of Swords can be you having dominion over your mind. It can also be it could be a mentor. It could be a male energy. The male energy is very much aligned with the law, right? The truth as they see it, not always exactly the truth, but this can also be a cop or a legal, a lawyer or a judge energy. So here come the judge, right? So there is somebody there with power that you will be interacting with. I do not know yet um, the the relationship or if it's going to bring anxiety, or if it's going to bring we'll continue to see. How people see you as strong and able to take on whatever it is that you put your mind to. This is the strength card is really about overcoming your baser instincts and raising your vibration up to higher levels. So you're not just working on the lower physical level, but you're working connected to something higher, connected to your heart, quite frankly. Your domestic situation, you're moving away from troubled waters. So that judge, that police officer, that lawyer, I think is helping you to get out of a situation. That's what it feels like. So if you're looking for somebody to help you extract you out of a situation, um, then you will find them this month. Okay. Because you are moving out of troubled waters. You're moving from the anxiety. You're moving to calmer waters. I like that. Well, that's good news. Hopes and fears, the King of Cups. The King of Cups is somebody who is nurturing, even as a masculine energy, somebody who understands the value. I mean, it's Joe Biden energy, right? But Joe Biden wasn't just all like, let me help you, let me help you, let me help you. There were parts of him that we were not aware of. He's a Scorpio, right? So it's that energy. It's like it's helpful, but there's always a little undercurrent of something that we don't always understand. That's a hope. That's a hope for you, I think. Not necessarily a fear, unless there's somebody like that in your life that you're concerned about. See the outcome. Yeah, so the outcome is that you have to watch what you say. You still have to be very careful about what you say. This is a Mercury card. It's actually Mercury and Sagittarius card. But you do not feel like you can say everything that you want to say. You have to be very careful about what is being said. You don't feel like you can freely express. That may be what this guy is about. He may help you to figure out what you can say and what you can't say. I almost feel as though there's some, it feels these cards kind of feel to me like I don't know if you're a whistleblower or um you, you you have to be very careful about what's coming out of your mouth. Okay, let's see. Oh, we have the Ace of Coins. I'm gonna pick three more, see if I can get a major arcana. So there's a new project in the air. The Tower. The Tower. I almost feel like you see a financial downfall coming, but you can't say anything about it. I don't know who this reading is for, so I'll just leave you with that. Let's see what's underneath it. The Ten of Wands. So this is somebody who has too many irons in the fire, trying to balance everything, but it's it's not, there's too many irons in the fire. You have to let go of some of these irons. Some of these just have to go. We have the Five of Cups, which is sorrow. You're going to have to let go of some things that are precious to you, that are going to hurt, but it doesn't mean that it's the end. It just means that uh, it's time to move on to something else. And then we have the Six of Wands, which is the victory card. So I feel like if you want to get out of this situation that you find yourself in, you need to find somebody who can help you discern what is best to let go of, even if it's things that you don't necessarily want to let go of, in order to bring a victory, in order to bring you to that place that you really want to be. But I think you need some. I think you need some professional advice, whether it's legal advice or something. Make sure you have somebody on your side who knows the rules of the road, and you will be victorious. But I don't think it's going to be that easy. You've been working really hard. I think that's the thing you don't know about. I think the thing that you don't know about, you're bringing things together. Maybe you even work for somebody or an organization where you think everything is okay, but somebody is holding something back that sort of puts what do you call in the works? What do you call that? Um, Slippery fingers. Put sand in the gears, or it's an unexpected, like you think, oh well, this is great, and then all of a sudden they say, oh, by the way, I didn't pay my taxes for 20 years, and you're like, oh shit, right? Not you, somebody else. It's not you, it's somebody else. So that's what I see. All right, let's pick an oracle card and see what the oracle says. We're using the animal spirit deck. Okay, let me find it. I have like 10 decks around me. Whenever I do these tarot scripts, I have all these decks. So this is going to be interesting to see what animal spirit comes through. I think it's going to help discern what we're seeing here. All that energy in the 12th house. The 12th house can be secret enemies. Could be secret enemies as opposed to, enemies that are right in your face. This is people stabbing you in the back kind of energy. So something's definitely up, Virgo. But you're fair and square. You just need to watch. You just need to get good advice, I think. Elephant spirit, learn from the past. Learn from the past. This is also connected to Ganesh, the elephant, right? I have him here on my name's Ganesh. He is the remover of obstacles. So if you're feeling stuck, you can work with Ganesh. You can do some mantras, or there's actually music, Ganesh music. Somebody sent me once. Um, you can work with that. He's a beautiful energy. I love Ganesh. I mean, who doesn't love an elephant, right? I mean, it's kind of sad that the Republicans picked the elephant because elephants are so cool, and Republicans these days are not so cool. Hold on. Oh, here we go. I have things all around me. All right, see what it says. Learn from the past. I'll hold it up so you can see the beautiful card. Although we often wish we could leave the past behind, Elephant Spirit reminds us that memory matters. We must respect the wisdom of the elders who hand down to us traditions that they have shaped to express our connection to each other and respect for the community. What has come before informs what we are experiencing today, and we must never forget our legacy of strength and dignity. Elephant Spirit appears with the message that we are to acknowledge that which came before and learn from it. All of us are memory-based creatures, and we must revisit the past to understand where we are and where we are going. The stories of events you experience, the stories of our collective memory, and the stories of relationships you have had can be told in many ways. What story will you tell? Elephant Spirit is here to encourage you to make it one that stirs in you a sense of power and dignity. For you have honored yourself by choosing to learn from your past. Spirit rejoices that you are willing to learn and grow. And here's your protection message. You are feeling uncomfortable with a tradition, custom, or familiar behavior that no longer fits who you are. Do you wish that the past could be erased so that it could no longer cause you a moment's pain? Elephant Spirit is here to encourage you to write, sorry, a different story and alter the traditions in ways that acknowledge that you all evolve. For transformation is our nature. So there you go. Maybe a little statue of Ganesh or a picture of Ganesh, or even if you put it on your computer screen. So when you go to your computer every day, there's Ganesh, removing all obstacles. Have yourself a wonderful month, and I'll see you again next month for the Taroscopes for July. Until then, namaste.